Hi, good morning. How you all? How you all? Good morning. Have a nice day. Good morning. How do you do? How you all? Good morning. Have a nice day. Hi. Good morning. Have a nice day. Beautiful day. How do you do? Hi. How do you do? Did you drink coffee? You had coffee. Hi. Good morning. Hi. Had you coffee? How many of you watched Pushpa 2 movie? I think almost covered Pushpa 2. తగ్గేదలే. 3 days, within 3 days of release, brought 600 crores worldwide. Box office collected on third day 600 crores box office collection worldwide. How many of you watched Pushpa 2? Watch the movie. I have to go. Here I'm not getting the tickets, so okay. Why we are taking coffee? Why this? We addicted to coffee. Without coffee, we can't start the day. Actually, coffee is originated in Ethiopia. It's also believed it made its way north across the Red Sea into Yemen in the 15th century. It then started to be grown in the Yemeni district of Arabia, and by the 16th century it was known in Persia, Egypt, Syria, and Turkey. Coffee is an essential in our fast-paced lives, a source of inspiration and uplifted that affects our body and minds to the possibilities of every day. But it's so much more than that too. It is global cultural force and it's as well loved as ever. But where did coffee originally come from exactly, and how it did it become so popular? We will see the history of coffee when we go deep into the history of coffee. Ethiopia is widely considered to be epicenter of where coffee came from. If you have ever googled coffee history, you will have come across famous history of how coffee was discovered in Ethiopia by Khaldi, an Ethiopian goat herder around 800 AD. He wandered over his goat to see them acting very strangely. They were energized and excited after eating some berries from a tree. So he tried the Vijaypat high, uh, energized and excited after eating some berries from a tree. So he tried the berries himself, and after he too felt excitable and alert. Khaldi took these berries to a monk. The monk exclaimed that it was a work of the devil and threw the berries into the fire. In doing so, a beautiful heavenly aroma was released, and the berries were quickly wrangled from the fire and crushed into embers. Realizing their mistake, the monk then placed the berries into a jug, jug and covered with hot water for preservation. The monk wanted to drink this lovely new concoction only to realize it helped them stay awake during nightly devotions and prayers. Of course, this is probably just a wonderful legend, and the history of coffee is more likely to lie with the nomadic Oromo, Golla people and Ethiopia and northern Kenya. Does coffee history begin in Yemen? There are also few well-known stories of the immense contribution in the discovery of coffee. The most famous legend from Yemen about the coffee origin has a slight twist on Ethiopian story. A Yemenite Sufi mystic was traveling through Ethiopia on spiritual matters. He encountered some very energetic and enthusiastic birds that had been eating fruit of a plant which is now known as coffee plant. Exhausted from his history, he decided to try these berries for himself, and he found that they produced an energetic state in him as well. However, it's largely believed that coffee beans were originally exported from Ethiopia to Yemen. Yemeni traders later brought coffee plants back to their homeland and began to grow them there. As it's thought that coffee originated in Ethiopia, it is also believed it made it was north across the Red Sea into Yemen in 15th century. It then started to be grown in the Yemeni district of the Arabia, and by the 16th century, it was known in Persia, Egypt, Syria, and Turkey. It was immensely popular for its qualities to help improve alertness and awakeness, allowing people to devote more time to spiritual matters and praying. Okay, we will see how where the world's first coffee house started. The world's first coffee house was opened in the Constantinople in 1475. Constantinople in 1475, now known as Istanbul. Now is named as Istanbul, Constantinople. Coffee was drunk at home as a part of the daily routine as well as to show hospitality to guests. Outside of the home, people visited coffee houses to not only drink coffee but to engage in conversation, listen to music, watch performance, play chess, gossips, and catch up on news. Without the modern technology we have today, coffee houses quickly became the epicenter for exchanging and gathering information. They were often referred to as schools of the wise, and these houses of the pilgrims visits Mecca each year from all over the world. Knowledge of this wine of Arabi, as it quickly became known, began to spread. When over to Ethiopia, then the course of the coffee history began to change. This exotic beverage certainly caused a stir for European travelers who were filled with intrigue and fascination. So, by the 17th century, coffee had made its way to Europe and became increasingly popular across the continent. European coffee history begins in Italy, where it was imported from the Ottoman Empire. In particular, Venetian merchants contributed to the widespread popularity of coffee in European regions, and in 1645, the first ever European coffee house was opened in the Venice. Drinking coffee became a great commodity, especially for wealthy people. Though the Dutch East Indian Company and the British East Indian Company also became very popular in England. The first coffee house in England opened in Oxford in 1651, and many others quickly followed, particularly in London. Coffee houses were strictly for men only, where they could discuss the business and news as well as socialize. It's said that many businesses, ventures, and ideas started in London coffee houses. How the coffee arrives in Paris? See, coffee was then introduced to Paris, France in 1669. It was introduced to Paris, France in 1669 by Suleiman Aga, the ambassador to the court of King Louis XIV of France. He was armed with bags of coffee described as a magical beverage. Only 2 years later, in 1671, an American who went by the name Pascal opened a coffee drinking booth at the fair of Saint Germain. Visitor very quickly learned to look for the Petit Noir, a name that still endures. This marked the beginning of the Persian coffee houses, which of course inspired coffee houses to open across France. Over the next 30 years, coffee became a cultural staples in Austria, Germany, Spain, and the rest of the European too. However, growing coffee in the Europe was a struggle due to its naturally colder climates. European traders would later start to brew coffee elsewhere. We see the growth of coffee popular in Asia, how it was popular in Asia. We will see. By 1600s, most coffee beans came from Yemen. Coffee beans were under strict surveillance, and those in power did everything they could to ensure fertile beans could be the growth elsewhere. However, Baba Budan, a Muslim pilgrim, was about to change the path of the coffee history forever. He left Mecca to return to India in 1600, smuggling coffee beans with the help of British colonizers. These could become the seeds of the world's first commercial coffee industry outside of Africa and Arabia, which still produces coffee today. Coffee was first introduced to Indonesia in the late 1600s by the Dutch traders, and over the next century, it could make its way to dozens of Indonesia's many islands, such as Sulawesi, Sumatra, Java, and Bai. For the short period, several Indonesian islands were among the top coffee producers in the world. Around the 1800s, coffee was cultivated in Thailand, um, Vietnam, Cambodia, and Laos by the French colonizers. The Dutch were finally allowed to grow coffee in latter of 17th century and was successful with the efforts on the island of Java. Java, in what it now known as Indonesia, the plants thrived and Dutch began to play a significant role in trading coffee. Thus was the history of coffee. Everywhere Pushpa, wildfire. Okay. Okay, varieties, sir. Okay, 47 mutton varieties included in. Oh my goodness. How many of the mutton varieties? 47 mutton varieties are included in Indian dish. Okay, we will forget about that. Yesterday, Sunday over already finished. We will see the weekends. This subject is not correct to discuss here. We will go to the another subject. Vande Bharat. How many of you traveled in Vande Bharat? What is the special of Vande Bharat Express? Vande Bharat Express is also known as Train 18. It is an ambitious train project launched by the Indian Railways in 2019. The train was envisioned as India's step towards a high-speed rail network. As of now, the train operates on five routes with three operating from New Delhi. The Vande Bharat train Delhi to Calcutta is the first generation express that was also the first route to be inaugurated on February 1st. February 15th, 2019. The Vande Bharat train Delhi to Katra and Delhi to Katra is the first generation express that was also the first route to be inaugurated on February 15, 2019. The Vande Bharat train timings and routes. The Vande Bharat train route from New Delhi to Varanasi is one of the busiest route, routes with more than 1,000 passengers aboard the train. The train starts from the New Delhi railway station 6 a.m. and reaches Varanasi junction at 2 p.m. It touches Kanpur Central and Prayag junction. In its 8 hours journey, the Vande Bharat the train Delhi to Varanasi runs every day of the week except Monday and Thursday. Another equality busy route in the Vande Bharat Express Delhi to Khatra, which is also takes 8 hours and has a stoppage at Ludhiana Junction and Jammu Tawi Railway Station. Vande Bharat features and facilities. One of the biggest advantage of Vande Bharat train is that it has a driver's cabin at each end, which has brought down turnaround times significantly. The train is made up of 16 passengers cars with a total seating capacity of 1,128 with two first class compartments. The 23-meter long train classes is made of stainless steel and has an aerodynamic design which reduces drag at high speeds. The train features a GSP-based passengers information system, bio-vacuum toilets, and rotational seats with interconnected fully sealed car that reduces noise. The second generation of Vande Bharat Express trains is equipped with updated security amenities, seating, disaster lights, emergency ventilation system, climate control, etc. The ticket fare of Vande Bharat Express. Now let's take a look at the Vande Bharat Express ticket price. For the New Delhi to Katra route, you will need to shell out INR 1,665 for the AC class and INR 3,055 for the executive class. For the New Delhi to Varanasi route, a seat in the AC class will cost you INR 1,805 rupees, while the Vande Bharat train ticket for the executive class 3,355 rupees. You can purchase the ticket by the online itself. Okay, only 30 seconds over. We will finish the session. We will 30 minutes over. It's reaching 30 minutes, so we will close the session and only the 30 seconds left over. Okay, we'll meet tomorrow. Have a nice day. Have a marvelous Monday. We'll meet tomorrow. Bye.